And because my finger decided to click the button early. It's not the weather we want, but today it's definitely the weather we're stuck with. Head of the National Weather Service for the United States, seeing how I have to be rather particular about this, predictions are good for the 20th of June, which is Wednesday. Heavy rain and strong thunderstorms continue for the plains to the northeast along and north of a front. Heavy rain and flash flooding expected for the Texas coast. Dangerous heat continues for the Midwest and Ohio Valley and spreads eastward into the northeast. A cold front is forecast to make its way into the northeast U.S. on Monday and Monday night and continue into the northern mid-Atlantic on Tuesday. Along and ahead of this front, thunderstorms are expected for the northeast, and there are slight risks of both severe weather and flash flooding for that region on Monday and Monday night. As the front progresses southward, storms will spread into the mid-Atlantic on Tuesday. Farther west, the front is stalled and thus will continue to linger across Ohio Valley, Middle Mississippi Valley, and Central Plains. Multiple rounds of rain and thunderstorms are expected for these areas along and north of the front. A moderate risk of excessive rainfall / flash flooding is in effect for the Central Plains on Tuesday as a low-pressure system along the front begins to strengthen. Storms elsewhere in those regions could also contain flash flooding and be strong to severe on Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to click on this. What?
Mario, mini rant there was nothing mini about that.
I know.
It's a touchy subject with her.
Patriarchy bear, they could have waited for Family Day in Canada for that bullshit. Yeah. Then shame on feminism for saying Happy Father's Day, Mom. Yeah. Yep. Alright, and here we go. This is the weather map. As you can see, there are flash floodings possible in these areas here, up going toward New England way, along with severe thunderstorms.
Jacob, looks like you're going to be hit with some more rain and thunderstorms. Those thunderstorms could be moving into your area, so be careful. Keep an eye out on Louisiana. Yes. Callie, you're going to get hammered again, sweetie. Sorry.
Yeah, you're going to get hammered again.
Poor Merlin looks like he's under the gun too up there. They got some. It's just east of him, but it all moves east. So.
Yep. All of it moves east. See, always plan for the weather you're stuck with and not the weather you want. So I like to say. And here's the temperature map for the day. Even though there's heat advisories through here, it's probably because of the humidity that's going on. We have 94% humidity today in the southeast, which means even though it could be in the 80s, it doesn't feel like the 80s.
It's going to be in the 90s, and it's supposed to be 91 with 94% humidity, which means I'm not going outside anymore today.
Neither one.
I did that early and everything while it was just still in the 70s here and everything, and I get back and I'm worn out.
Yep. This is the time of the year when we kind of wish that it was a little cooler over here. Oh my gosh. Alright, let me switch to this. See if this actually scrolls. Nope, which means I gotta reset this. Like this, and like this, so it will scroll.
Yes, we are scrolling.
Alright, here we go. Afghan Taliban say Eid ceasefire proved wide national support. Imagine a June 15th in Kabul where Taliban members handed their weapons over as they entered the province to observe Eid, the festival that marks the end of Ramadan. Now imagine them hugging, talking, laughing, and taking selfies with the people in the city as the celebration starts. This was the scene described by many when the Taliban agreed to ceasefire during the Eid on Friday. However, the next day, a suicide bomber blew himself up and claimed the lives of 25 people and wounded at least 54 others. The Islamic State is claiming responsibility. It is not clear how many Taliban members were also killed or wounded in the attack. Come over here. Oh. Ah! This is why sometimes I really hate my gaming mouse. Give me a second. I was trying to find the president. There we go. Let me see. Now where was I over here? President Ashraf Ghani urges the Taliban to extend the ceasefire to, quote, provide medical assistance to the wounded Taliban, unquote. He also went on to say Kabul would, quote, provide them any humanitarian assistance if needed. Taliban prisoners will also be allowed to contact and see their families, unquote. So he was extending a most gracious hand. Not all Taliban were happy with the way its members acted in Kabul. Hibatullah Akhundzada, the supreme leader of the Taliban, was quoted by Reuters by saying, Last night, an emergency meeting was called, and all the commanders were informed and directed to take strict disciplinary action against all those Taliban members who visited citizens and took pictures with the Afghan authorities. Further reports to date of Ghani's proposal to extend the ceasefire have been declined by the Taliban. Pakistan had wanted the ceasefire to include the U.S. and other foreign troops, but the commander did not agree. The ceasefire was to end June 19th in Kabul. So, your 2 cents? I know.
I hope they picked. I hope the ISIS picked a fight with them. I really hope ISIS picks a fight with the Taliban because I want a big bucket of popcorn and I want to watch the bodies start piling up. Because if 2 groups that I can't stand start killing each other, I don't care.
I'm grabbing popcorn. I mean, this is the Taliban.
They can war amongst them. The Taliban, Al Qaeda, and ISIS can all get together and they can have a shootout party, and the rest of the world can grab a bucket of popcorn,
and watch.
And then nuke the winner.
I mean, if I remember correctly, it was Al Qaeda, the Taliban, and then along came the Islamic State.
Yeah.
So they're the baby of the Taliban and Al Qaeda. And these are two people you don't want to screw with. You don't want to screw with the Taliban and Al Qaeda. Yes, Islamic Civil War, good news for the West. Yes, it would be. Morning, Sir Wolfie. Glad you could make it. I mean, here was something we never thought we would see in the Middle East. Let's face it. We would never see, let alone hear, about the Taliban laying down their arms for 3 days at least to enjoy a celebration of
it's a big
religious holiday.
It's a big religious holiday and everything,
Yes, 3D glasses. And for them to not only agree to the ceasefire, but show up and go, okay, here's our weapons, and go talk and laugh and just enjoy the festivities with everybody, that's a big deal.
Look, when this is all over and everything, we're probably going to be fighting amongst each other again and everything. But for right now, let's just enjoy the holiday.
Oh, the furry is here.
Oh,
here we go. Let me move this so this will quit hitting the buttons I don't need it to hit on my mouse. Okay.
Okay, let's see what we got.
All right, scrolling up. I'll let you take the next one.
Merkel faces threat to open door policy.
Yep.
Aww. The sister party to Merkel's conservative Christian Democratic Union, the Christian Social Union Party, which is led by Minister Horst Seehofer, who is calling for turning back immigrants coming to Germany. Migrants registered as asylum seekers in other European countries. Merkel has the unilateral actions stating it would weaken the EU by reversing her open door policy and fears it would also undermine her authority. Seehofer wants the right to turn away migrants from Germany and also put emphasis on wanting a European solution for the migrant issue. He also went on to say the agreement had to guarantee protections to EU's external borders. If no agreement has been reached by the end of the EU summit, which is from June 28th to June 29th, the German police will start to turn away migrants registered in other member states in the Union. Though there is word in the media that Seehofer will try to topple Merkel, the minister said. No one in the CSU has an interest in bringing down the chancellor, dissolving the CDU-CSU joint parliamentary group, or blowing up the coalition. We want to finally have a solution for turning back refugees at our borders.
So she's getting major pushback.
Well, let's just look across the entire European landscape and everything and see how well that's bringing all of those migrants in and everything. Let's see.
I still remember the Eisen map that's forever burned.
Well,
in
you
my
got
mind.
the UK, you have France. Don't hear a whole lot about Spain. I think Spain is killing them if they start that bullshit there. Sweden, Switzerland.
Yeah. Those places they're in.
I
mean, it's about time.
Italy's telling them no now.
Yeah.
Get your ass out.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Now they fucking around with those Italians. Those Italians will start dropping them in the ocean dead.
Oh yeah, they'll start. Because mafia. But
We're going to send Vinny, Nikki, and Tony over there to have a word with them.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you see here that there is pushback, that there's a little bit of friction.
Brexit hasn't happened yet, Batman. You're still part of the EU, whether you agreed with it or not.
Yep. Here we have the CDU and the CSU, at heads with each other, because you cannot have an open door policy in regards to immigrants and migration as a whole. You have to have some sort of screening process. You have to have gatekeepers.
They're not screening anybody. They don't care and everything. And the problems that they're seeing now. Now Germany is one of the worst ones and everything now, but you got to watch out with those Germans too. The Germans in general are not a group historically that you want to push around for too long and everything, because when they push back, it's serious.
You got a license for that statement, Batman? Batman goes, still not European, you're part of the USA, are you also a Texan? I mean the
Texas
nice Italian gentleman clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Batman. The UK in general is doing the appropriate thing by getting out of the union and everything. It has hurt them as a country. So they just need to hurry it up. What's taking so long? Because here in the U.S., if we say "fuck you," we mean "fuck you."
Yeah, they're dragging their feet. They need a license for the laughing. Patriarchy bro's gonna pick on him. Russian taxi driver wounds 8 and leaves the scene. On Saturday, a taxi driver in Moscow was recorded as he approached a line of cars and then veered onto the sidewalk, hitting pedestrians and a traffic sign. Bystanders tried their best to intervene by trying to extract the driver from the taxi, but he was able to break away. Though the driver, 28-year-old Kyrgyzstani, had initially said the incident was an accident, he later changed his statement and said he left the scene for fear of the crowd hurting him. It has since come to light the taxi driver had been behind the wheel for 20 hours before the incident happened. The police are investigating the driver. The incident happened close to the Red Square in the middle of Moscow. And remember, this is one of the first stops for the Soccer World Tour.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
World Cup, rather.
Here's the thing. This whole 20 hours behind the wheel and everything, it's not going to matter. Enjoy the gulag.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Enjoy the gulag. That's what's going to happen.
And I think Batman's going to want me to read this one, because it does have, these last two do have Spanish words in them.
Oh, there you go and everything. You're flirting with that damn bat again.
Colombia's president wants unity. President-elect Iván Duque called for the unity after a win from a runoff election. Duque, an apprentice of sorts to the former president, was elected Sunday with 54% of the votes, finishing 12 points ahead of Gustavo Petro, a former guerrilla fighter. Woo, talk about anybody can run. The Duque formally takes his place in August. He promised the Colombian people he would work to heal schisms and work according to the will of the Colombian people, and also made a commitment to attack corruption as well as address the cocaine production, which he calls a national security threat.
It is.
Duque has a long road ahead of him in regards to an accord which lets rebels avoid jail. His promise to deliver peace with justice by either constitutional reform or decree may cause waves, seeing how he does not want ex-combatants who committed human rights abuses to be able to hold any political office unless they confess and pay reparations to the victims for their war crimes. These are lofty goals.
Wait a minute. He wants them to confess and pay reparations for war crimes?
Yes.
I don't like it. That sounds like a good Catholic thing and everything. Just confess your sins, all will be forgiven. Fuck you, hang them.
Yeah, but I mean,
this is how you get rid of people that commit war crimes and everything. Right. You take them out. This is what happens if you fuck up.
Okay, now I commend him for his lofty goals and wanting to do certain things. Okay, but he is going to have a lot of problems with the Colombian cartels because he wants to attack corruption and the cocaine
go down to the last line
Colombia.
And everything. And he's going to get paid off by the cartels and cartels to put to allow cartel members to serve in political office.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
That's
how he does all that.
that's a whole lot of talk for the same bullshit that they're already dealing with. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to change.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay. Venezuela, Caracas club stampede leaves 17 dead. Early Saturday morning, as little as more than 500 young adults were celebrating school graduation. Someone set off a tear gas canister. The canister going off led to a stampede of people trying to get away from the gas, which led to 17 deaths and 5 wounded. An autopsy student states 11 of the 17 died of suffocation and that 3 out of the 5 wounded were minors. At this time, there are mixed reports as to what led to the tear gas being thrown in the club, with one report stating the gas was thrown during a fight that broke out in the club. Interior Minister Rhetorical has said there have been 7 people detained in relation to the incident, and that the investigation is ongoing. Ages of the victims range from 16 to 20, reports a journalist at La Patilla, a news site. So there is that. So that is why there were minors there. They were celebrating graduations. That explains it, because the preliminary reports that we were getting out over the weekend were just stating that there were minors there. No reason as to why they would be at a nightclub. There's your reason. They were celebrating graduations. Now, who the hell brought a tear gas canister? Holy shit.
No, they're probably most likely a fight broke out, and probably a bouncer or security there and everything tossed it in there. You don't wade in to 16 or 20 people when they're brawling.
Why does the Colombian president look like Sadiq Khan? I don't know. How can anyone in Venezuela afford tear gas grenades, let alone go to a nightclub? You know, that's a good question. That is a very good question, and I'll let you read the last story of the morning.
Oh, yes. This one is interesting. Welcome to New Jersey, home of some of the strictest gun legislation in the lands.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 suspected New Jersey Art Festival shooting due to rival groups. Now, I will preface this by saying and everything, this is an unsubstantiated leak through what the reports are saying is an unidentified
law enforcement
official.
Yes.
So I'm just leaving it there. As we dig more into this and everything, we will bring it to light, which I'm hoping we can find some more out on this and everything, because I really want to follow this one.
Yeah.
And everything. There are 3 suspected gunmen who are in custody following a shootout and at the Art All Night Festival in Trenton, New Jersey, leaving 1 suspect dead and 22 wounded. 2 of the suspects have been named, and the identity of the third has not been disclosed. Governor Phil Murphy stated after the incident, "Art All Night is a time when we all come together. We cannot let gun violence tear us apart. There are the most important times to talk about gun policy." Now let me explain something to you, you flipping moron.
Here we go. There's his tweet, in case you guys are wondering if he was
this is actually the tweet. "We awoke to news of a mass shooting right here in Trenton. Art All Night is a time when we come together, and we cannot let gun violence tear us apart. These are not inappropriate times to talk about gun policy. These are the most important times to talk about gun policy."
Politicize.
You're going to politicize this and everything. Okay, your state and your city in general and everything have some of the strictest gun laws everywhere.
Yeah.
Throughout the United States, New Jersey, New York, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are some of the tight fist. You know, you can't own a firearm here places.
Yeah.
It takes an act of Congress and a blessing from God to get firearms here.
Yeah.
I'm betting this was done with handguns, not assault rifles,
and illegal ones at that.
And the people that had these firearms and everything, I'm betting money on it that none of them were owned legally.
Yeah.
The newspaper, the Trentonian, reported the fight which started the shooting was due to a rivalry between groups. They went on to say law enforcement sources stated that there was social media posts warning people of gunfire at the event. The remainder of the event has been canceled.
Yep.
Now, when was this? It was what, Saturday? Friday or Saturday?
Saturday or Sunday, yeah. Saturday or Sunday.
It was over the weekend. I know it was. I know it's just this past weekend.
Let me see if I can bring it up on the Kindle, because I know I still got it in my News Hog app.
But you know, these people, you know, when you live in a state or an area that already has oppressive gun legislation already on the books.
Oh, come on.
And everything, and now you're going to... These people broke the law on several different things and everything. You're not saying whether or not they had obtained the firearms legally or if the guns were stolen from someone. You haven't said.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not saying, I'm guessing, because these firearms were obtained illegally and used to commit this act. You're not going to say that because,
it's not
my
coming
agenda.
up because the Kindle sucks. But yeah, it was either Saturday or Sunday is when it happened. Yeah, I mean, it's just criminals do commit crimes. Okay, no, don't. I don't watch the news. Y'all are the news to me. Thank you, rude boy.
Thank you, rude boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but my Kindle is not being forthcoming in its cooperation because I have an app on my Kindle called News Hog, and it's basically an aggregate app that collects all these particular news stories. And I think it was originally reported by the Washington Post, and then I found a couple of other ones.
Okay, wait a minute.
Here
I
and
can look
there.
it up over here real quick.
Okay.
I'll just pull it up.
Oh, wait a minute. It's coming up.
It's coming up?
It's coming up. It's finally deciding to...
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to do something? Yes, we want you to do something. Let me see here. Let's see. And a train in London, emissions cheating, De Niro's an idiot. Protests, obviously. Walmart, Border Patrol.
Okay.
What?
Well, this is going to be interesting.
The article was dated June 17th.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's something. Here's an update. Police identified subject
Tahij Wells, 33, who is believed
to have been killed by police. Prosecutor Angelo
Onofre
said Wells had just been released from prison on homicide-related charges.
Officials have also charged Amir Armstrong, 23, on weapons offenses. Oh, Lord.
The shooting appears to be the result of a gang dispute. He said it is not related to terrorism. Prior to the shooting, Onofre said there were numerous altercations inside and outside the festival. Police had been trying to shut the festival down.
Yep. And then you've got witness statements, and this one, unfortunately, this one's out of CNN.
This is out of CNN. That's
And
what
it
I'm
seems
reading.
like they're staying factual, so that's crossing your fingers.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
There was one victim that was a 13-year-old and everything that was upgraded to stable condition from critical condition and everything, which is good and everything. So here we have a person that was released from prison that wasn't supposed to have a firearm at all because he was in prison for a homicide charge, which made him a felon, which means he wasn't supposed to have a firearm. Yeah. So you have someone that was illegally possessing a firearm, released from prison, that goes out and commits a mass shooting, who was in turn shot and killed by police.
Right.
Hats off to the police officers for doing their job.
This has nothing to do with any gun control law.
This isn't a gun control problem. This is a repeat offender problem.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you baby these guys and everything, and you leave somebody's convicted of killing someone, and you just leave them in prison. And say, now if you learned your lesson, okay, run along out there and play nice.
Yeah.
Used to, we take people like this and everything. Oh, you killed somebody. Yeah. Everybody gather around town square and everything. This is what happened when you kill somebody. Hangman, pull the lever.
Right.
And you leave them hanging there all day from sun up to sundown. Then you cut them down and everything. That way, every time somebody passes him, what'd he do? He killed somebody.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to do that.
All right, let's go on to the shout-out. Shall we go on to the shout-outs?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go on to the shout-outs.